Listen, Wrexham, they're top of the National League, but only by a point. Only by 3 points, actually, against Notts County in second place. But they've obviously got huge financial backing now. And they're a totally different club, obviously, to when Ryan and Rob bought them. I think it was November 2020. So they've had them for coming up for 3 years now. Do you have a problem with any club being bought out by people who've got copious amounts of money, and then that club start rising through their leagues to get into the Football League? Do you have a problem with that?
No, I don't.
Do you think football fans have a problem with that because it's not their club? Like anyone that phones up, if I know a Dagenham and Redbridge fan phones up, I've got a problem. Is that because it's not their club it's happening to?
Yeah, potentially, but also as well, I'm guessing from their perspective, there's almost like an element to it where it's not pure. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like, I know a lot of non-league fans, conference fans, that go simply for the purity of the football. There's no VAR. It's just what you see is what you get.
There's no financial fair play.
There's nothing. Just get on with it. You play.
Yeah.
So I can understand from that perspective, but I haven't got no problem whatsoever with Wrexham having all this money and them using that to their advantage to get through that. And I think it's a fantastic story.
Yeah.
I don't support a non-league club. I support Arsenal, but I quite like the fact that Wrexham down there, I've got all this backing, and they've actually got players playing for their club that turned down contracts from League 1 sides, League 2 sides, because obviously the financial gain at Wrexham's more than what they're going to get.
Do you think there'll be any Wrexham fans that don't like what's happening to their club?
Yeah, listen, you can't please everybody. That's
Do you think so?
I
prefer it in the good old days when we didn't have any money.
I hear Man City fans saying that.
I don't know if that's true anymore. I don't know any Man City fan that would actually phone up
You
and
get
go,
one.
I don't know if you do. I just think that's one of those
I think
stories that does the rounds. I don't think any Man City fan would say I much preferred it in the third tier of English playing Gillingham away.
It sounds strange to me, but you'll find one. But I just think it's a nice story. Let them keep going. It's bringing more eyes on the football league as well.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, what about the fact, producer Joe's an Ipswich fan, I don't know if I've mentioned that before, but what about the fact that you've got a Wrexham side, a non-league side, and at the time that this deal was struck, they're a non-league side, they might still not go up, they're favourites to go up, but as I say, Notts County are breathing down the necks, but do you have a problem, would anyone have a problem with a side like Wrexham taking on the mighty Manchester United in a pre-season game in San Diego? Does that sit right? Because usually it's
doesn't bother me. I mean, I think
it doesn't bother me either.
I actually quite like it.
Yeah, okay. It doesn't bother me either. But usually, predominantly, when for argument's sake, Man United go over to America, they were playing LA Galaxy, New York Cosmos, or whatever, and then
who?
And then like Liverpool will go over.
New York Red Bull.
No, who Pele played for?
Yeah, they're not a team anymore. Cosmos.
I know, but they were, right?
Yeah.
But usually you get the big hitters going over
for
the tour. But this, obviously, Wrexham.
Yeah, but Wrexham are not like anyone else. They've got big Hollywood A-list actors.
Yeah.
And who've got that pulling power to be able to make this happen. So, I mean, it's it'd be quite bitter if you just think you didn't like it. Because what harm is it doing? They're going over there, they're playing against one of the biggest sides in world football, if not the biggest. Massive platform. It's going to attract loads of fans. It's good for Wrexham. It's good for Manchester United. Yeah. More eyes on the National League that they're in.
Do you think, because our show goes all around the world, not just, of course, this country, but do you think there are more Wrexham football fans in America now because of the fact that Ryan and Rob own them?
Whether they're Wrexham fans or not, I don't know. But for sure they'll be following Wrexham now.
Do you think so?
Yeah, of course. Because
do you think if people live in America, they now heard of Wrexham?
A lot of people, I mean, Wrexham are competing with a lot of American sports.
Yeah.
There's some gigantic franchises. But yeah, I think if you're a fan of Ryan Reynolds, of course you're going to be thinking, just have a look at what Wrexham are doing. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying they've gained loads of supporters, but certainly there's a lot more eyes on Wrexham now than there once was. Okay,
well, listen, I don't think I've ever said this in nearly 15 years at talkSPORT. We're going to start today with Wrexham chat. Gareth is a Wrexham fan. He's first up. Hello, Gareth. How are you?
I'm really well, thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Our pleasure. How long have you been a Wrexham fan?
Well, all my life, really. I hail from a little town called Rossett, just outside Wrexham, and my dad introduced us to it. I remember being 14 years old and watching Wrexham beat West Ham at Upton Park in the FA Cup in a replay. 87th minute, Kevin Russell.
So how are you now with the fact that you are top of the National League? You've got copious amounts of money behind you. Yeah. You've just announced, your club have just announced you're going to be in a pre-season tour in San Diego against Manchester United. How, apart from the fact it all feels, I'm guessing, a bit like a fairy tale, how does that sit with you as a Wrexham fan?
Right, well, it's fairy tale. I mean, that says it all, really. But I mean, it's best to start at the beginning. Just before Rob and Ryan took over, COVID nearly ended the club, and the club are the oldest club in the world. Okay, so put that in perspective. It was a fan-owned club, which was saved by the fans by a bit of a rogue owner, and then out of the blue, you get the news that 2 Hollywood stars are interested in buying your club, Wrexham. Bananas, absolutely bananas. And it literally saved us from the brink of going under. So you take it as it is, but from there on in, you get a TV show. And this TV show is genius. It's grown the brand. Internationally, we've got so many fans, obviously in America, which is great. We love this little club. It's a little town where the football team is the hub of it. I mean, getting over 10,000 fans now to a National League game each week is just incredible, and you can see how it's brought the town alive as well. But yes, it's great that they've injected money into a club that has had no money for years and years, and we've pulled down the league. So it is obviously fantastic, and I can understand other clubs, might look on with a little bit of envy. Okay, I would probably do the same, but I don't really care, to be honest with you, because
Gareth, do you think it's a little bit of I almost sense the fact, Andy, that it's a little bit of jealousy towards Wrexham, I think.
Well, I would, Graeme, Gareth, thanks for your call. I would understand that, but I wouldn't have a problem with that. Let's speak to someone that I think does have a problem with it. Joe's a Notts County fan. Hello, Joe.
How are we doing, chaps? All right?
I'm great. I'm good. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm just phoning up for a moan, really.
Go on then, moan away. That's why we're here, Joe.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm really happy for Wrexham. Let's be honest, it's not very often that the Welsh win anything, so good for them. Yeah, happy days. Yeah, that's it. Don't jump on the bandwagon there, lads. But it's more wanting a moan about the Football League. So Wrexham, they've got them bought the league. We can all see that. They've got them bought the league. A little bit like Man City. But why does only one team go up automatically when in the other leagues, League 2 to League 1, 4 go up, 4 go down. In our league, 4 go down. What is that about?
What? So what you're saying is that they've obviously got the money. They've been bought by these fantastic owners. They've got all the money, but you think there should be 2 spots that gets promoted, not just 1, because it's unfair that they've got all the money.
Absolutely. No one understands why only 2 teams come down from League 2 to National League, but every single other league, it's 4 teams up, 4 teams down, or 3 up.
But are you only saying that this year because you're in second place and it looks like Wrexham, albeit they've got a slender lead over you, they're favourites to go up? If they didn't have all this money, would you still be phoning up going, I can't believe the top 1 only goes up?
Yeah, pretty much. It's not a level playing field, is it? Yeah.
But do you have a problem with that?
Yeah, pretty much, because it's you said it yourself, it's about real football down there. We're not like Man United fans from London or anything like that. We're real fans that support our team.
You're trying to just annoy everyone today, aren't you, Joe? First the Welsh, then the Man United fans from London.
No, trying to annoy you.
Oh, right, okay.
I would never have a go at any disingenuous fans, not at all, my friend, no.
But Joe, let me ask you, if Jeff Bezos tomorrow announced he was buying Notts County and ploughing 500 million in, would you phone up and say, no, I don't want that?
No, of course I'll be loving it. We had that period where that bloke pretended to buy us a few years back, and that didn't go very well.
No. Well, listen, thank you for your call. I get it's going to upset everyone that's not on the...
But it's almost like, do you remember when Chelsea first got taken over by Abramovich?
Yeah.
The line from everybody was, well, it doesn't really matter because when he gets bored of Chelsea, he'll just pull his money out and they'll go. Right. End up being there for 20 years, making them one of the most successful sides ever. Manchester City, when they got their owners, people said, they'll only be there for a bit. All now they're still pumping money in.
Let me ask you then, with these 2 guys, Ryan and Rob, right? Ryan's companies have just sold for, I think, collectively like £1 billion. It's copious amounts of money. I think he sold the gin company, and I was talking to Charlie Baker about this, and the telecommunications company, around about £1 billion. With their backing, and who knows what other investors will come in the further they travel up the league. How far, realistically, do you think a side like Wrexham can go?
What, as in when it starts to get a bit costly?
Yeah.
I think League 2... League 1.
Yeah.
Championship is where it starts to get tough.
Championship.
I think League 2 they can go.
I agree with you.
But then you look at some of the big sides.
There's a massive gulf, isn't there?
You look at the big sides that are in League 1. That can still going to be there, and then to go Championship with the costs and that.
Yeah.
I think that's when it starts to get a bit tight.